Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today. We are taking a really highly focused, energetic deep dive into honestly one of the most frustrating challenges that business leaders face, and that is transforming this incredible, abstract business vision into a concrete, day-to-day reality. I mean, we've all been there, right? You have this unbelievably energetic kickoff meeting in January, everybody is totally fired up, but by mid-February, you find yourselves bogged down by endless emails and day-to-day fires. And you're just wondering where all that momentum went. Well, today we are going to learn exactly how to fix that. We're going to look at structuring our goals for sustained success, connecting the distant future directly to our daily habits, using some really powerful insights from the BOSUP and 90 frameworks.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to take a bit of a zoom-in journey today, starting with number 1, the problem with planning. Then we'll look out to the horizon with number 2, glimpsing the big picture. From there, we zoom the lens in to 3-year stepping stones, down to 4 one-year actionable steps, and finally we land right in our immediate focus window with number 5, 90-day critical rocks.
All right, part 1. The problem with planning. Why plans fail.
It's kind of a harsh reality, but it's absolutely true. Plans don't turn into progress on their own. It is so crucial we address this massive pain point right out of the gate. You have a vision, you have the energy, but consistent execution, man, that is where things really start to fall apart for so many organizations. Leaders set these grand, inspiring goals all the time, but without a structured, unified operating system, those plans just fail to become owned week-to-week actions. Without a system in place, all that visionary energy simply dissipates. And instead of powering the business forward, planning just starts to feel like this heavy, useless backpack that you're being forced to carry around.
So, what does this all mean? It brings us to the ultimate challenge of leadership. How do we actually bridge the massive gap between where we are today and our ultimate vision? If you're just out there juggling scattered, disconnected tools, you are going to get bogged down. We need a definitive way to connect the distant future to what your team is executing at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. Because let's face it, at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, your team isn't thinking about a 10-year corporate milestone, right? They are thinking about the ringing phone, the urgent client email, and the immediate fires burning right in front of them. That brings us to part 2, glimpsing the big picture, vision and audacious goals.
So, a vision is basically a clear roadmap for your company's future that provides focused direction and inspires the entire organization. Having this documented vision is your absolutely necessary anchor. Now, within this vision, you have your compelling and audacious goals, or CAGs for short. These are your massive, long-term, 5 to 10-year aspirations. And while we aren't going to look at these massive goals in detail today, we do have to acknowledge them before we start focusing on the shorter term. Why? Well, because they act as your true north. They are the literal compass that dictates the angle and direction of every single shorter step we are about to discuss.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole philosophy of our journey today. Goal setting is actually all about reverse engineering success. Think about it. Human psychology makes it incredibly difficult to stand in today's mess and try to accurately guess what 5 or 10 years from now should look like. It's totally overwhelming. So instead, you start at the top. You anchor yourself to that massive 10-year aspiration, and you build stepping stones backward. Breaking those massive dreams down into smaller, manageable chunks creates immense clarity and completely removes the anxiety of the unknown.
Let's zoom the lens in a bit to part 3, 3-year stepping stones, mapping the middle.
3-year goals are those crucial milestones that bridge the gap between long-term goals and achievable actions by breaking down your vision into a clear roadmap. You might be wondering, why is 3 years the absolute sweet spot in business planning? Well, 10 years out is a dream, right? And 1 year out is a task. But 3 years is where structural reality happens. It's the exact moment where an audacious, almost dreamlike vision is forced to become tangible. It gives you enough time to fundamentally change the business, but the deadline is close enough that you have to put a stake in the ground right now for specific revenue targets, profit margins, and actual headcounts. Let's actually walk backward through this timeline together. At 10 years, you have your audacious vision. At 3 years, your manageable roadmap. At 1 year, your actionable steps. And at 90 days, your critical rocks. If you were to remove that 3-year mark, you are basically asking your team to leap across a 9-year chasm. It's impossible. The 3-year goal acts as this vital connective tissue. It literally prevents the company from snapping under the pressure of its own ambition by linking that massive future to what we will physically do next year.
Zooming in even closer now, we hit part 4, 1-year actionable steps, the reality check.
One-year goals are the actionable steps towards your 3-year goals, featuring specific metrics and milestones to measure your progress. These one-year goals completely ground that 3-year roadmap into our current, everyday reality. The psychology of a single year is incredibly powerful for human motivation. It's long enough to achieve something massive, like, say, launching a new product or opening a new market, but it's short enough to keep the finish line highly visible. And that visibility is key. It prevents burnout, helps maintain sustained momentum, and ensures that we can actually celebrate concrete wins over the next 12 months.
So the crucial point here, and you definitely want to remember this, is 3 to 7. When setting one-year goals, teams should establish exactly 3 to 7 specific targets. Why this highly specific range? Think about cognitive overload. If a team has 15 priorities, they aren't executing. They are just treading water trying not to drown. If everything is important, nothing is important. Limiting your goals to a maximum of 7 forces painful but absolutely necessary leadership prioritization. It makes you decide what is truly going to move the needle this year.
Which brings us to the tightest zoom lens of our funnel. Part 5, 90-day critical rocks, mastering the present. I absolutely love this concept. Imagine your time and energy as an empty glass jar. This is inspired by Stephen Covey's brilliant workday analogy. If you fill that jar with sand and water first, which represent all the endless day-to-day tasks, the emails, the Slack messages, the minor administrative issues, there just won't be any room left for the big, heavy rocks. The jar will overflow. You must purposefully put the big, critical rocks into the jar first, and then let the sand of daily tasks organically fill in the empty spaces around them.
So in this framework, rocks are your most critical quarterly goals that directly link to your annual objectives and demand your absolute laser focus. Why do we set them in 90-day increments? Honestly, because human beings naturally lose focus and urgency after about 90 days. We get distracted. Aligning these goals with natural business quarters resets our attention spans and completely eliminates that dangerous procrastination until December effect that always comes with strictly annual goals. And just like before, individuals and teams must only tackle 3 to 7 rocks per quarter to guarantee optimal effectiveness. But even a 90-day rock can just sit on a desk gathering dust. That's why we break execution down into these steps. Step 1. Identify your 3 to 7 quarterly rocks. Step 2, break each rock into 1 to 2 actionable weekly milestones. Step 3, assign clear ownership. That third step is the ultimate antidote to the "I thought you were doing it" syndrome, because when a goal belongs to everyone, it literally belongs to no one. By breaking rocks down into weekly milestones and giving them a single, unmistakable owner, you ensure that accountability is constant, ambiguity is killed, and progress remains incredibly steady. Let's summarize this incredible macro to micro funnel with the cascading goal system. Vision defines your ultimate destination. 3-year goals create the structural roadmap. 1-year goals set the immediate actionable targets. 90-day rocks command present-day laser focus. And finally, weekly milestones ensure consistent execution. Think of this whole thing like a towering Jenga structure. Without the weekly milestones, the 90-day rocks completely crumble. Without the 90-day rocks, the 1-year goals are just fantasies. Every single lower tier serves as the vital, weight-bearing bridge to the reality of the tier directly above it.
So I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Is your team actually building a bridge to your ultimate vision, or are you just out there juggling scattered tools and day-to-day sand? I really challenge you to take a hard look at your own operating system this week. Apply this focused, cascading framework to your business. Put your big rocks in first, and watch how smoothly your grand vision transforms into your daily reality. Thank you so much for joining me on this Explainers, and hey, keep building that bridge.